Nu klockan 11. Jag släpper in folk. Woohoo! Here we go! Hi
Gud,
everyone!
underbart när skärmen fylls. Welcome!
Ja, precis. Welcome to day 3! Hi Wenke, Maria, Marie, Pia. Great to see you on here. Hi Melinda, Håvard, Terje. How are you doing today? Good to see you all. We're taking you on quite some journey, huh? What have you gotten yourself into? All the rebels and the freedom entrepreneurs and oh, great to see all of you here. We're just going to wait one more minute to let everyone in, and we'll soon get started to show you all the details of the water and how we work with this, how we have been able to realize all the things we've been able to do with this model. So let me see. There we go. So the coffee, the water, the notebooks up. We will do a deep dive today because usually we have sometimes we have short presentations. This is going to be a longer one so that you're ready for it. Like embrace for impact in the double sense. Haha. Okay. Let's see. There's still lots of people coming on. Give it a little bit more time. Good morning, Gunnar. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning. And actually, I was thinking about you. Would love to connect about another thing with the water pipe system you have, because I have a big plan in mind. I would love to speak more to you about
Yeah,
that.
anytime.
Good, good. Okay, I think we are done. Yeah, would be great if you all mute when we get started so we don't have the background noise. Let me see. Oh, there, there. Good. Mm. Oh. Okay, guys, welcome to day 3 of the Freedom Cascade Masterclass. Really appreciate all of you spending the time with us to look at these solutions. We've worked so hard on really, preparing for you and bringing to you here. So today we're going to dive into the details. It's going to be a longer presentation because we want to give you the full picture so that you can educate yourself and make your decisions moving forward where you feel that you fit into all of this. So, and we're also going to have some beautiful more people from the team giving their testimonials, their stories to you of how they, got started with this, the effect that it has on their lives. It's affecting thousands and thousands of people across the world as we speak, and we're so proud to bring this to you. So, without further ado, I'll jump straight into the presentation for you guys. There we go. So what we're going to talk about today is the sovereign life model and also how we create this huge positive impact through the power of water, EMF protection, and also supporting as many people as possible to be conscious entrepreneurs, but also for those that just want to give themselves and their family the best water out there. So for me, like you've heard before, but I can repeat it again, we've talked about our big visions, right? And I've actually done a lot of work, and I still do regularly do a lot of work with just being clear of where am I going? Where am I? What do I want to do with this? Like I said, I fulfilled most of my own personal dreams. It's just one more. We're like in the process of building our house. Otherwise, like for me personally, we're very happy, living on our farm. I have my dream car even. I, I kind of, what do you say, gave that to me, and my husband gave that so that, most of the things that I want personally are there already. What I want in the long term is to create these sovereign free communities across the world, because I believe that is the way that we can move forward, creating real sovereignty where we create these thriving communities on the ground that can then connect to each other to give all of us the basic needs met. Because just like I said the other day, I've been researching, the Maslow's a pyramid of needs. If we don't have our needs met first, we can't move on to the higher stages of actually having a meaningful impact. So what I want to create is to build these research centers, health clinics, infrastructure for building the new earth, the communication hubs, and also give more into the international projects that I'm involved in the World Freedom Alliance, in the International Water Awareness, which is, I haven't spoken that much about it, but it's an incredible initiative with researchers across the world that want to long term hold people accountable that are poisoning our water, and also work long term for everyone to get clean water, and also build the New Earth Horizon, which was kind of my first international organization that I worked with, and actually make this community where I am a reality. So on in the basics of it is the positive impact that I am making and that I want to make is make sure that it's we can live a simple, good life, but just being safe and thriving and happy as sovereign free men and women. But then it is, where do we start? And whatever big vision you have, where do you start to have the steps in place to actually make it happen? And how do we do that through also providing these essential things like good water, EMF protection, and consciousness and awareness about our greater visions and selves, and stepping into that. So, in the end, what do I mean with living as a sovereign man and woman? For me, this is something that I've actually studied my whole life. Since I was in my 20s, I've been researching both the spiritual realms and international relations, human ecology. I've been in international organizations since 2005. I've seen so many things. I've talked to so many people. And it kind of boils down to, in my world, that there are different levels of consciousness, different levels of reality that we need to empower, that we need to create balance within. So, first, it's the physical health. And to have a thriving life, I mean, to have abundance, we should all have abundance to be able to do what we're here to do. The second one is to have balanced emotions and relationships. And of course, a community such as what we have, or the local community, is very important in that. And the next one is the mental balance and security, and also education and support to develop yourself, to constantly learn new things, and to take care of just to feel safe and to feel held in what you are here to create. The other one is the creativity and the heart. We often forget that in our society. That's pushed away. We need love. We need to also be in that collaboration with others. And of course, to have freedom of speech, to encourage others to use their freedom of speech and live their unique visions. And I believe all of these things also let us, when we have peace in our, the basic levels, we can move to also being at peace, whatever that means for you, using your intuition, being in connection with the creator, with God, whatever you call it, and use this power of manifestation that we are meant to do. And I think we shouldn't be afraid to speak about that, because that is our essence also, to be connected to our spirit, to be connected to our greater purpose here on life, and not we need to dare to address that and live that. So what I'm presenting here today, I feel, is the best model out there that actually addresses all of these things. So going back to some of the root problems that we are facing today, because we need to not just tap on the surface, right? And like give a pill, or like go home and get well. We need to go to the root of things. I love to do that. Like, what is, like Dolores said the other day, what are the things that actually have the most effect positively in the world, and addressing these core issues that we're facing. So what we can see out there is a lot of toxins in the water, in the food, in the air. It's coming through like the glycosides in the food. It's coming through toxins in our water, a lot of chemicals in the sky, all around us. Actually, we're finding these heavy metals, these chemicals, and that affect our health and also our mind and our connection to our soul, everything in a very bad way. And we're seeing increasing levels of radiation, which is something we're going to talk about as well, which is way above the levels that should be approved. So the levels that are approved today are way higher than is actually by the research should be allowed. And we're also seeing a lot of financial instability in the world, where actually starvation and children dying, and also families and people that have experienced a lot of financial pressure are undergoing a huge stress and also real threats. And in my world, the world that I want to create, this should not happen. Like, children should have everything they need. Families should feel stability in their finances, because like I said, this is also a basic thing. If we don't have our basic needs met, it's very hard to move on to the other levels of actually not just surviving, but actually giving back to the world. So just to talk about some problems with our water supplies. And of course, this is a huge story. There are movies made about it. There are Dark Waters. It's actually like a play. It's like a fiction movie, but it's actually based on reality of the PFAS scandal in the United States. There's also Vättern Under the Surface. It's some of the Swedish researchers that were working with in the international water awareness, that have gone deep into the contamination of our lakes and how it also affects our drinking water. So there's lots of research. There are lots of researchers that have tried for years and years to bring this up to the surface. We even have, Robert Kennedy Jr., who's now in office in the US, have been trying to address this as well in Water Keepers, his the organization that he was a part of starting. And he's also stopped a lot of these industries that are contaminating our water sources. But the terrible truth is that you can find thousands of chemicals that are not good for our health in ordinary tap water. And unfortunately, also in most water out there, even though you have a well or natural spring, these contaminations have even been found on the top of Mount Everest. So it's very, very hard to avoid them these days. The other problem that we're facing is that we have pipes in the cities and in our water, supplying the water out to your home that should have been removed or changed a long, long time ago. And if you look at those, this is ordinary pictures from how water pipes can look. And it means that the water, when it's not in a good state, when it is contaminated, when it goes through these pipes, it also is not structured in the way that water should be. And we also see a very serious problem out there with plastics, microplastics in the water. Some people say that, we can find like a credit card of microplastics just in our bodies, which is, of course, causing a lot of health problems as well. So what does this bad water, the toxins, but also the stress, like Dolores talks about sometimes, like how the stress actually brings your immune system down if you're all the time just in survival mode. But also together, like the bad water, the toxins, the stress, and then also the increasing levels of radiation, and especially when you're exposed to this for a long period of time, causes severe health problems out there. And it causes dehydration, for instance. If you don't drink water in its natural state, the way it should be, it doesn't matter how much water you drink. You can drink loads and loads of water. If it's bad water, it's not going to hydrate you properly. It's not going to come into your cells, which I'm going to speak more about later. And we're also facing huge problems with acidosis. So these toxins and this bad water is creating this acidosis in our body, which is a growing ground for lots of different problems. This is very research based. You can have a look at, oxidative stress or acidosis, what it causes. It causes a wide range of diseases that we could avoid if we would be aware of these different issues. And we're also seeing chronic inflammations, like in the body, in the brain, because inflammation is a reaction to if the body cannot remove these toxins and this acidosis from the body, it creates these chronic inflammations that, of course, also create a lot of our health issues that we see today. And of course, the stress-related problems is something we really need to bring up to the table, where I think a huge number of, for instance, the Swedish population actually, eat pills for anxiety or stress or depression. And for me, what I've seen, both with the water actually affecting your brain, like hydrating the brain, removing the inflammation, removing the stress, and then also having this long-term plan that you can lean into, that if you feel stuck, well, I'm working on this long term, and it actually removes a lot of this stress that that you're giving your time and energy into something very constructive. So let's talk about water and how water is actually the foundation of life. Water is present wherever there is life. So just a minute now. Sorry, guys, just a bit of background noise here, so just need to say that. So, the importance of giving yourself and your community medical grade healthy water and removing toxins from your home. So what we've seen here is one of the basic building stones, right? And not just, giving yourself maybe clean water or water that is structured. It needs to have this full range of abilities or what you say, qualities to be able to really be the best water for you. And it's also about removing these toxins, not just from your water, but from your whole home. So first of all, I'd like to ask you uh, to ask yourself what water are you drinking today? Because there is a lot of awareness that is being created, and people might turn to, bottled water, thinking that that might be a bit better or have some kind of water filtration or distillation. And that's great. That's like a first step towards the right direction. But it's you need to be aware of all these aspects of your water to be able to have the really good water that has the deep effect on your body. So the different qualities that we need in water is that we need it to be free of toxicity. And of course, bottled water and tap or well water, they can still be full of microplastics, of chemicals. Even well water, like I have here out on the farm, can have residues from the farms. It can be toxins from the sky. So it's, like I said, it's very hard to find water that is not full of toxins. And even bottled water can have microplastics. It might have been standing on the shelf, even though the source water might have been good. It it loses its negative charge, and it gets contaminated with the plastics from the bottle when it stands in this bottle for a long time. And we also need to look at the pH level of the water, the structure, the oxidative properties, and if it has a positive and negative charge. So for instance, like me, before we discovered this water, we actually were quite aware of the water. And we had like a distiller, and then we had some minerals coming into the water. We had a whirler, so it would structure. Like we had these different kind of stages. Like our whole kitchen was full of these kind of things. And some of you might have some of that technology already. But what we found when we went deeper into the qualities of the water is that if you only filter or, for instance, distill the water, you still don't have the right structure in the water. You don't have the right antioxidative properties, and it still has a positive charge. So, for instance, the distilled water can have a strong positive charge, causing this oxidative stress in the body. So it also might take out the healthy minerals from the body if you drink just pure distilled water. So it's nothing that I would recommend for a long term. And that's where we became aware of, also through my late father, unfortunately, that was a medical doctor. We showed this water to him, and because I wanted to hear his opinion, and he said, "Yeah, I will get one of those machines myself. Like this does everything you need to water." And I'll show you exactly what we mean by that. So the water that we have as an engine in creating these beautiful visions that we have created and are creating is Kangen water, and it's based on very powerful healing springs in the world. And these are not just, spring water. This is springs where people have come for hundreds of years to drink this water and experience these healing benefits from the water. Even the spring in Lourdes, France, is a sacred water spring by the church because they've seen these amazing healings taking place by the water. And of course, this is not just, an energetic thing, even though a lot of people also believe it is. But there is a science behind this, that these Japanese researchers 50 years ago started to analyze the water source in Okinawa, Japan, and they found that this water has a strong negative charge, meaning it's ionized, it is structured, it's full of molecular hydrogen, which is one of the most powerful antioxidants in the world, and it's also very pure and clean. And this happens naturally when the water, often it's in these like isolated mountain areas, they flow from a high level and they get cleaned through like whirling down the mountains. And there might be lightning strikes that creates this molecular hydrogen, and the structure through this natural movement of the water is created. So, what these Japanese researchers did was create Enagic. From this research, they created the company Enagic, which today, actually this year, is 50 years old company. And through the years, they created a technology that resembles this natural spring water. And through the years, they got the highest certifications in their industry, and they also have the highest share of the market in the world. And it's also the only company in the world to have a medical grade certification for this technology. And it's started out to be used in Japanese hospitals as a medical grade device for a wide range of diseases. We'll go into some of that research later on in the presentation. And they also made this beautiful patented business plan, which we are honored to be taking part of, to spread the word about this. And this was not in the early years, this was around 20 years ago that they actually started to spread it to the rest of the world. And they establish these beautiful values because they had the choice, like, is this going to be a medical device that is only going to be in the hospitals of the world, or do we want to spread this amazing water to as many people as possible and kind of do it in an unstoppable way? And they chose the latter, which means that it's now in the hands of millions of people around the world. And they also, on the way, give back massively to us as independent distributors, which is creating all this abundance that can then create the positive impact. So they have clear values, they have zero debt, they are family-owned business, and they have the values to create better mental and physical health, as well as giving finances both to individuals and companies out there to give financial stability. So the water solution that was created from this research this is the K8. This is like the flagship model of Enagic. And they created this medical grade ionizing technique that has this Japanese certification. And you can like download all of these certifications from enagic.com. You can look at it. They're very, very transparent, so nothing is hidden. And they got to create this technology that converts your tap water to 5 different kinds of water with 7 different pH levels, which I'm going to go into. It's not just for drinking, but it's also for disinfecting, for cleaning, for removing lots of toxins in lots of areas, both in households and in hospitals, in many different areas of our lives. And then this technique actually purifies the tap water, ionizes and structures the water, makes the water alkalized, not alkaline. It's a different chemistry there. It's not the same as adding baking soda to the water, for instance. This has to do with the molecular hydrogen, making it alkalized and balancing the cells, pH levels, etc. And it makes the water full of molecular hydrogen. And the certifications, you can look them up on the homepage. I won't like go through them in detail, but they have the medical grade certificate. They have it for their environmental standards, for the manufacturing where they do everything in-house. So if something breaks, they always have a supply for those parts, etc. And they have the gold standard certification for their industry, and also gold seal water quality certification that this water is certified by an agency from the outside, that it is what Enagic says it is, it does what Enagic says it does. Yes, so yeah, I'll jump over this one. I think you can read into this, but I can mention that if you go to PubMed, for instance, there you can find over 50,000 or more research studies for around 170 animal and human diseases. So how does it work? What happens inside of this technology, and why is it very unique and patented and one of a kind? This is the first thing that happens is the water comes through a filtration that filters out, the contaminants, all these chemicals, etc. And Enagic believes that we should not filter like too heavily, because then you also filter out the important minerals in the water. So depending on your source water, you can have one filter that is already in the machine that is very, very advanced, or you can add different filters depending on your source water. Like if you are in the city or you have like the municipal tap water, I always recommend an extra filter called Ultra E filter, because that will take away the medical residues, the heavy metals, the graphene oxide, like all of those kind of things that are unfortunately in the water. So that's my recommendation. If you have like well water, or you're out in the country somewhere, it might be just enough with what you have in the machine. And after the filtration, the water passes these medical grade titanium and platinum plates. So that's where the patent for this technology is. There's no other like technology out there that has that advanced plates, which means they last for 25 plus years, and they're also very safe, meaning that if something leaks out into the water, this is actually the same kind of material that is used, for hip replacement, or it's medical grade metal, which is very different from ordinary titanium and platinum. And it also means that the area of the plates is very large, meaning that the medical grade effects of the water becomes very stable and very high in the Kangen water. So unfortunately, I've had people look into, they've been drinking the water, they had like tried the water out and they had amazing effects, their diseases went away, and then they went and bought a cheaper copy because they thought, oh, this machine, it does the same thing, and like had no effect, and they had to like throw it away, or buy a Kangen machine afterwards. So this is what we stand for, like this is what we can stand behind. And in this ionization process, that's where the water is divided into two different streams, one alkaline or alkalized, and one acidic. And the slightly alkalized water is called the Kangen water, and that's where you will find the molecular hydrogen, all the healthy minerals are still brought into that water. And that is what has these like very powerful health effects for you as well. And in the acidic water, this is not for drinking, but you can actually use that acidic water for different purposes that we're going to go into. One of them is to use as a very powerful disinfectant, which means that hospitals, industries that use a lot of disinfectant, they can replace those chemicals and even have a more effective disinfectant in their industries that actually kills all the really bad bacteria and stuff that ordinary, like alcohol or ordinary medications, does not remove. So it's actually even more powerful. So what are then these 5 types of water, and why can they also remove lots of toxins from your whole environment, which is so important today when a lot of people are experiencing a lot of health problems unnecessarily because of these. So on the wide range, we have the strong Kangen water, which is pH 11. And this is not for drinking. This is an emulsifying water. So it actually is, you can feel it with your hands, and it's almost like soap. So you can actually clean the kitchens, the floors. It's like a cleaner, like an emulsifier. Like soap, actually. So you can remove those kind of chemicals that can imbalance your hormones and do a lot of damage to your system, and just clean with water. And it works really amazing. You don't need any like kitchen cleaners. We haven't had it for years. And then there's the Kangen water, which has the pH range of 8.5, 9, and 9.5. And this is the detoxifying healthy water that we're going to talk more about. And then we have clean water, which is if you don't want the Kangen effect, if you're taking medication, or if you are giving it to babies or old people, because this Kangen water does have a detox effect that can, you know, the first couple of weeks can trigger some headaches. The stomach might move around, and if you don't want that, and also when you're eating, you shouldn't eat that water because it could affect the stomach acid. So that's why you have the pH 7 water. That's just the filtered water if you need that. Then we have beauty water, which is pH 4 to 6. And this is used for your skin and for your hair. And there's also a shower unit where you clean the water and make it into the pH of the skin and the hair. And especially for people with skin problems or hair problems, dryness or eczema and those kind of things. Like I was actually healed from my eczema just using the shower unit, because um, my skin was probably just reacting to the chemicals in the water. When those were removed, my eczema was gone. There was nothing to react to any longer. And so that is the pH range used for that. Then we have the strong acidic water, which has the pH 2.7. And that's, like I said, it's disinfectant. And that's kind of like a completely new world where a lot of hospitals, where I'm even in contact with researchers and companies that are looking into the hypochloric acid, which is the scientific name, because it can kill these really bad bacteria causing like sepsis and inflammation, where the medical care system don't have any resources to take care of that. So it's, of course, you can use it to disinfect anything, and it's just water. And which means, at least for me in my home with my children here, I know that there's not lots of toxins here that are disturbing their development and my family. So that's the wide range of types of water that is being produced by this technology. And this is the Anespa. This is the shower unit I talked about that Enagic has developed. And they've also been inspired by the Japanese hot springs. They're very, proud and very scientific about what they're doing. And they have these beautiful healing springs, like warm springs that people come to bathe in. And this water produced by the Anespa resembles that water. And they understand, the Japanese, that the skin is actually a large organ, and it can absorb chemicals through the skin, such as chlorine and other medical residues, etc. And so the skin can absorb the chemicals from 1.5 liters of water. It's not that you're absorbing that water, but the chemicals from that, and it can enter through the skin. So we want to remove, of course, the chemicals from your shower and bathing water as well to have the full effect. So if you're drinking the good water, but then you're getting the chemicals through your skin, it's kind of counteractive. You want the full protection against those toxins and chemicals in the water. And it produces this water that is pH 6, which is close to the natural pH level of the skin. It removes the chlorine and bacteria. Chlorine, if you didn't know, it causes the skin becomes very dry, and it also causes affects the thyroid system. It has a lot of negative effects on the body. And yeah, so it filters out the chlorine and the toxins, and it also adds these minerals from the hot water springs in Japan, which means it also has a healing effect. So, just giving you a little touch of the research, we're happy to send you more information about that, but it's like a deep dive. Some get lost in the rabbit hole. I've had people researching for months, and basically these certifications that Enagic has, they certify, if you have a medical grade certification, uh, that there's thousands of studies behind it. But if you want to look into it deeper, you can research molecular hydrogen and also electrolyzed reduced water, and you can search on PubMed or on Google Scholar. You will find thousands of studies, and especially if you have any kind of disease, any health issues that you want to get more research on specifically, you can of course add that and you can look into that. So this is just one study that I find that is a meta study, also connecting the water to these springs that I talked about from the beginning. And you can find, of course, a lot of references in that study as well. But like I said, we have compendiums, you have lots of information if you want to learn more about this. And these are some doctors and scientists that are standing behind this. And of course, in Asia, in the US, they've come a bit further than us in Europe. They are using it in the health clinics, in the hospitals. Like Hiromi Shinya, he's one of the main um, uh, stomach doctors in the world. He has invented a lot of technology, like the what is it called? Gastroscopy. Sorry, when you look into the intestines and things like that. He actually tells his patients they need to drink Kangen water for at least 2 months before he even treats them, because he has found that most people get well just from, shifting their diet and also drinking the Kangen water. So in Japan, they know the importance of the gut and of the stomach, and actually most of the research on Kangen water and the medical grade certificate is also based on the science that the gut is healed by the Kangen water. And of course, there are lots of others. Peggy Parker, I really love because she talks about the mental health and the Kangen water, and also the positive effects on autism, for instance. Like I actually have a son that is lightly autistic, and for him, it was a huge turning point getting this water. He used to be more introvert, go into his own fantasy a lot. It was hard to get in contact with him. When he got the water, he actually, started to communicate better. He went out of his bubble. It was a huge shift for him, which is also backed by science, also done by Peggy Parker, where they see a huge percentage of autistic children that she has watched get much, much better. So, what then happens when you give yourself this amazing water, and why are we so passionate about it? Like we said, it's a fundamental thing. It's the water is 70% of who you are. Why is that so important? So you get this increased hydration. So for the cells, for the brain, for the organs, it's really important to stay hydrated for your functions in the body to work properly. You have the antioxidant properties, just like green tea or blueberries. 1 glass of Kangen water actually equals 1.5 liters of blueberries in antioxidant property, which we'll talk more about. You get an increased cellular function, which means when the cells work, when you heal the cells from within, so many other things heal in your body. And you get this constant detoxification of the toxins and the acidity, because the positive charge and the molecular hydrogen in the water couples up with those things and brings them out of your system constantly. So why then is this water superior in hydration? This water actually hydrates your cells and your body 6 times more than ordinary water. And the key is that this water has the right structure. If you remember the pipes where the ordinary tap water goes through, or if it stands in a bottle, or if it's mistreated, the water actually clumps up together. And if you watch this picture on the right, you can see that uh, the water molecules are too big to enter the cell. The green and the yellow lines there, that's the cell membrane, like the cell's surface. And there is something called the aquaporin helix, where the water enters the cells. So if the water is not structured in the right way, the water does not enter the cells properly. But with Kangen water and with this proper treatment of the water, the water actually enters the cells. So you get this full hydration with this right structure of the water. And as you see, the water is what you're mostly made of. Like all your main organs are mostly made of water, and your body is made of usually around even more than 60%. It's usually around 75% even. And actually, dehydration is also connected to aging. If you see like wrinkles and aging and all of that is also connecting to how hydrated you are. The older you are, the less hydrated you usually are. So let's look at the second property. So the next property is the antioxidant property, which is measured in ORP. This is the positive or the negative charge that something can have. It's different than the pH. It's you can actually measure this with an ORP meter, how if something is negatively and positively charged. And the tap water, just to give you a reference, even though the pH might be 7, because they need to have that, it's like regulated, and they usually put chemicals that are not good for us in the water to keep the pH, it can still have a huge positive charge. Actually, the same charge as soda or like Coca-Cola or Fanta, which we know is not good for us for many reasons. But this positive charge then creates this oxidative effect in the body. And on the other side is the antioxidant, the things that have antioxidant properties in our body. And it's all those things that we are told to eat, like vegetables, raw food, vitamin C, and green tea, good fatty oils, and all of that. And they all move on that side of the scale, on the negative charge, which create this antioxidant properties in our body, which is healthy for us. So you can see that most of them only come up to like -100, -300, maybe at the most. But the Kangen water actually can come up to -850 in ORP. So it has this huge antioxidant property, which is one of the highest antioxidant properties that you can find out there. And of course, then you can see it's not just clean water. It actually has this huge antioxidant effect in our system, which is also healthy for us. And the last thing is the detoxification of toxins and acidity. Like we talked about from the start, to have acidosis in the body creates a lot of different health problems. The body needs to stay at a pH of around 7.35 to 7.45, especially the blood. So it actually has to kind of guard that. If we drink Coca-Cola, if we have lots of toxins, if we have lots of stress, a lot of things that causes acidosis, the body will protect this pH like fighting for its life. Like it will actually take um, alkaline substances, like actually the muscles and the tendons, the things that we want to have healthy, or even the bones. Because like if you have weak bones, for instance, um, it can mean that you have acidosis because the body is taking the alkalinity from those body parts to balance up your pH. I hope you're following me here, otherwise you can rewatch. But the Kangen water actually is slightly alkaline, which means that it helps the body to balance the pH. And pH means potential hydrogen. So some people misunderstand that. They say, but how can it keep the pH when it comes into the stomach acid? It's just gone. So it's actually the hydrogen in the water that is it's a very small like molecule, it's the smallest one we have, and it goes really fast. Just as it enters the body, you need to get it fresh from your tap, or oh no, sorry, um, from the technology, from the machine, to have this huge amount of molecular hydrogen, because it is quite it evaporates, or it comes out of the water quickly. But when you get it into the body, it goes into your system very quickly as well. It even goes past the blood-brain barrier, starting to hydrate and detox your brain. So what then specifically happens in the cells? Because the cells, in a way, is our health. The health of our cells is the health of our body. So the cells actually start to breathe better. The oxygen and the water, the nutrients starts to enter into the cells. And also the toxicity and the waste products are then taken out of the cells. So this starts to happen, like the cell starts to function properly. And the negative charge is also very important for the health of our cells. The cells, and especially our brain and our nervous system and our heart, they need to keep a negative charge to function. That we're electrical beings, all of us, and the negative charge in the water makes that happen, like makes that part of our body happen properly, and also activates your mitochondria in your cells. So the mitochondria, if you see in the picture here, it's those little like worm-like things in the cells, and they are actually the energy engine in your cells. So that's one of the most common testimonials are here, including what I experienced with the water, is that once you've been drinking this for some time, once you're through, the body going through this detox and the cells activating and all of that, you actually really increase your energy levels, because your mitochondria starts to support you and your body to have the right energy level. So, guys, that was the water, and I hope you understand now, like why we have chosen to have this as the driving model, like something that has so much positive impact that is so fundamental for our health. So, the next part of a very important issue that we're so thankful that Enagic is addressing as a company is the protection from radiation. Because just like you saw in the former presentation about the water, the radiation that comes through 5G towers, electrical devices, there's this EMF smog around us actually causes oxidative stress as well in our bodies. And this is also well researched. So one other way to make a positive impact, especially in the cities now where, like, I'm so thankful I'm not in the cities. I actually feel the radiation coming into the cities, and we've actually tried with our own M guard, because you can have it in your car, to turn it on and off, while we're in the cities. And for both me and my husband, we can clearly feel it in our bodies that when it's turned off, we almost feel like a pressure on our head or a slight headache and almost like burning of your skin. And when we turn the M guard on, um, this goes away. And of course, if you are radiation sensitive, you know this very well. There are people that have huge problems with this. So this device that is actually just released this spring by Enagic, which has over 7 years of research behind it, protects you against this negative impact of the EMF. So what then is EMF and the consequences of the prolonged exposure? So it's especially those that might live in those areas where you have like lots of Wi-Fi's, you might have a tower. Like we were living just outside of Gothenburg in Kullavik, and we actually could see a tower from our kitchen window in our house. And when all this 5G was rolling out, we just felt like we can't have our children grow up in this. And of course, I know everyone can't move to the country like we've chosen to do. And in the meanwhile, we need to protect ourselves wherever you are, and also going into the cities, because this is a serious issue. So, of course, it's hard when you can't see something. It's just like the tap water. If it looks good and it doesn't smell, people think that it's fine. And it's the same thing with radiation. You can't see it. You can, of course, those that are sensitive can feel it, but there is actually equipment that you can measure with, and there's also different levels of radiation, like different ranges, that is important to protect yourself against. But according to science, the long-term exposure to EMF has been linked to various health problems, from cellular damage, oxidative stress, disruption of biological processes, as well as neurological disorders. And a lot of the first, since we've just started to roll this out, the first testimonials I've heard from people is that they sleep very well, and headaches disappear. They feel more alert, like after waking up. So it actually really disturbs important processes in the body. So the electromagnetic fields, the EMF, has different ranges, where the lower range can be acceptable to be exposed to, but when you come into higher ranges, this can have a very negative effect on our physical bodies. And if you want to dive deeper into this and understand it, it's also, you need to understand that our physical organs and our brain, our heart, our body has a certain frequency. And especially when you have EMF on that same frequency, it can actually have that great negative effect. So what Enagic has created is this device that creates an harmonic field. So it actually, sends out a signal that is not negative for us at all. It's the counter. So if you think about like a wave coming here like this, and you have a wave that is the opposite, almost like two waves in an ocean meeting, they will neutralize, like it will become still. So this is actually like how the M guard, it doesn't block. It's like nothing you've seen before, because people often reference, but like I've had lots of like EMF protection devices at home. None of them that I've seen have been measurable like the M guard. You can actually measure that it has an effect. And none of them has had this massive amount of research that this one does. So it creates this harmonic field that protects you within a radius of 4 meter and a diameter of 8 meter. And you can take it with you, have it wherever you are. Like I said, you can have it in your car, on your desk, in your office, or have it while, like where you sleep, etc. And then you are, safe against those harmful radiation effects. Great. That's actually the basis of the water and the M guard. We're moving on to talking about how we're creating these sovereign enterprises, these conscious entrepreneurs and empowered communities that, just like we've talked about the freedom, the vision, the freedom cascade we want to create out there, how we can actually get good money in good people's hands. That's what we want, right? If we're up to huge industries and people that with a lot of money, we need those kind of resources to rebuild, to build our communities, to build our way of life. So before we go into the sovereign enterprise model, I would like to bring on some beautiful people from the team, because this can sound a bit abstract, and why are we talking about this water and this and that? Like, I really want you to hear directly from some other people that are on this path together with me, and hear directly from them their experience with working with us, and also the effects that it's had on their health and on their lives. So yes, would love to hear from Stina. So Stina is from Sweden, in Åre, and a beautiful woman in our community that has had these amazing effects with the water. And you also have such a beautiful vision moving forward. So yes, Stina, I would love to bring you on.
Thank you so much for this introduction, Monica, and for the presentation about the water and the M guard and the units that we really need today. It's fantastic. My name is Stina, and I live up in Åre in Sweden, up in the mountains. And I'm so thankful to be in this community. I'm so thankful for the water, and it has really changed my whole life, I think, physically and mentally, and for my children, my family, and also for my friends that I have, and my family as well. I have been living with health issues since I was 1.5 years old, with a lot of urine infection, and I have been living on antibiotics for many years. 1 year I was eating antibiotics 10 months of 12. So my body starts to go down, and I was struggling so much and have been on the hospitals many times, and the doctor hasn't been treating me that well. And that cost me half of my kidney and a lot of surgeries, and it was really painful. But then I'm also thankful for this road trip, because that made me go deeper in study health in another way. And I'm thankful for that today, because otherwise I haven't been there where I am today without this history. So 2014, I started to change my whole life with the food, and I was drinking ashes from the, you say, birth, the trees from Finland, to work with the oxidation in the body, and it starts to be better. But then 2.5 years ago, I was diplomated holistic health therapist, and that was so amazing when I just come into this world with the water and what it can do with the health. And since then I haven't been eating one antibiotic anymore. So I'm so happy for that, because it really healed my body. And today I'm 44, so it's been a long way to find this, and I really hope that more of the people can find this and help their families and themselves to heal their bodies and their mind. And also the community made me grow myself a lot. I think that if you have asked me 2 years ago, can you speak in this masterclass? I have said never. So that's so fantastic to just grow yourself in this community with these beautiful people, and studying yourself and your limiting beliefs, and go for your vision. It's such a strong power to get healing water, to get the supplements. I also use the Yukon, the turmeric supplements, and it's fantastic. Drinking the water, working with your mindset as well, and with this community, with a lot of fantastic light workers for the world. So that's so amazing. So I'm so thankful for all of you in this space. I also have 2 children. I have Tilda, she's 13 years old, and I have a son, he's now 18. And my son is in the Swedish mogul team, the national team, and he's starting his journey when he was 16. And when he went into this Swedish mogul team, the Swedish national team, the trainer said that how is it possible to get in with this physical health and the strength when he's only 16 years old. And we're talking about the water, and we know that a lot of athletics in the world using this kind of water to get the strength and to be in full power. And we have also worked with his mindset and his goals, and I have learned a lot of that. And he said to me when he was 16 years old, he went out. It was a spring day. He came out to me and said, "Mom, I'm so rich in life." And I just said, "Just tell me how it feels." Yeah, because now I'm doing this whole trip with the Swedish team in Europe in a lot of the competitions, and he said that all the people I meet and my health and the feeling of my power, it's so fantastic, and all the places I can reach, and to just meet all the people. And now we went to the Junior Olympic Games. Sorry about that. In South Korea in January this year, together with the K8. I always have the K8 with me on all my trips. So working on his goals, working with the health, with the water, and also with my daughter Tilda, who is 13 now. She had a lot of problem with her stomach, and that goes, her just healing herself with the water. So I'm so thankful for all of this and the community and everything. And also our dog. That's so interesting, because our dog has also problem with the urine infections. And when she starts to have the opportunities to drink another water, she also healed for this urine infection. So that's pretty cool. And see how the animals also choose which kind of water they want to drink. And my vision is to just take the hands, take our hands in global, to just make a brighter world, and to give back to people, to give back to Mother Earth. We don't need to drink this plastic water. We don't need to drink toxic water. And I think this is my vision. I want to spread health to the world, because I think if we get more healthy people, we get a healthier world. We don't need all this drugs and supplements that's not good for us. So I think that is a huge power for us to just to work with our children, because they are our future as well. So yeah, it's wonderful. So I'm so thankful. So that was a little bit short about me. I'm a little bit nervous, but to take it in English. But I hope I can, I transform my energy, and that you can feel it. Yeah, I'm so thankful.
Thank you so, so much, Stina. That's such a powerful story you have, and thank you for being with us. It's a blessing to have you in the team.
Thank you. And now I think we moving on to Vitaly, and for him to share. Is that right?
Yes, Vitaly, are you there?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Vitaly. So good to
Thank
have you here.
Yeah, it's very good to be here on these seminars. It's enriching, even though you know all these things, but it's empowering, because it's not just the information, but the energy that is shared in the room, in this space. So, which is very, very positive. I like it. Yeah. I don't know really where to start, because so many testimonies that we have. So it's been a journey for a year since we started. So I probably will share how we started as well, maybe. So my name is Vitaly. Originally, I'm from Ukraine, but we lived in the UK with our family. Our son was born there, and we moved to Norway in 2011. So as a family in general, we are health conscious. Always was about the healthy eating and healthy water. I started to promote water, pure water, and purification of the water since 2007, or actually 2006. To be honest, when I was in Ukraine, and first I met actually this technology called reverse osmosis, and I was involved in the health business as well. For me, water, that was one of the most crucial things that people need to change first if they want to change their health. When I moved to UK back in 2007, the first thing that when we moved into our first flat, and it was in a town as well, small town, we put reverse osmosis. So it's a water filtration that was must. And I realized when I was in the UK, we needed to change the water filters in reverse osmosis very often. They didn't last even a year. And I was shocked just to see what was coming in that water. It was a shocker, and I was always taking pictures and showing my friends. And my message was simple: if you want this be in your system, then don't filter the water. You can let your body filter and see how that's gonna last. So, and a lot of actually, because of that, a lot of people just started to look into the filtration, and they started to just simply jump on the wagon top of the healthy water. And we were as well not just purifying, because reverse osmosis was purifying. And I realized, you know what, it was removing all the minerals. So I found actually possibility to add the minerals to this water. and how to structure it. So we always would put in the magnets on the pipes and get in the minerals inside. So in a sense, we were happy with the water that we were drinking until actually I was introduced to the Kangen machine, because I thought there is no better quality than after reverse osmosis, especially when it added minerals. But obviously I was lacking some information, especially on negative charge of the water and positive the charge of the water. I knew the acidity, and the water from reverse osmosis was coming like 7.4 pH, which was quite good as well. But the negative charge that was actually when I was invited to or introduced to Kangen, I'm very thankful to Dolores and Maneka. When first I was introduced, obviously I asked how much it cost and so on. So the price, first of all, shocked me, because I thought, no, we already have a water treatment that is good and it's structured, it's go through the magnets. But because the one thing I realized about that negative charge and how that actually can affect on the body, especially as an antioxidant, because we live in here in Norway, and we go picking blueberries constantly, and we eat as much as possible basically fruits that give that antioxidant effect. But the thing is with us, because we were on the sovereign transformation journey, and there we learned the first thing that one should think about is to remove the toxins as much as possible from your life, because there is no possible actually to achieve that transformation and to become actually sovereign in your thoughts if you actually intoxicated. And it was a challenge actually, because we needed to look at every aspect around the household, removing the chemicals that we were using towards the clothes to actually clean the house. And so it was just like, first of all, it's overwhelming. How can we start this journey? How we can remove it? So, and obviously we send our prayers to see the solutions, and at the right time, actually, so this solution has come to our life. And when I told my wife, this machine can help us to detox completely our house, and not just that, I think it's going to help our daughter. Our daughter struggled for some time with eczema as well, and we tried all kind of things, all treatments, creams, probiotics, and it helps a little bit, but it goes back, especially during the seasons of autumn and spring as well, where you have this increase in this, especially when there's pollen outside. So we were very concerned about her, especially you can see her when she goes to school and get really depressed about her skin condition, and, getting the comments from her classmates about her skin. So she really been in a bad place. And so after talking to my wife, I said, yeah, I know it's pricing. I know it's, but we need to really put into perspective, what are our values? What we had some savings, and so we just decided, what, yeah, we're saving some money, but what it does for us. And here we have actually possibility to invest into our health, first of all, and into our vision of living a sovereign life. And as I said, to live a sovereign life, you need to remove the toxin as much as possible from your life. So we made the decision. It took some time, because we, from the time we made the decision, it was August last year. It took us 1 month actually before the transaction happened, because we had some saving in gold. So during that time, a lot of doubts was coming. Do you really need this? Because look, your mind starting to play with you. Do you really want it? Do you want to invest into this too much? You have already good water. But then talking again to myself, and as well, what are our priorities and what are our values? Are we value our health more than the actual money on our saving account? And so, because looking how our daughter been struggling, you know what, we made the decision. And as soon as it came, you know, I was happy just to, you know, to start using it straight away. I put an ESPA as well. I actually signed up with Trifecta. So because we understand, you know, how water works and how actually the body absorbs the water. So it was quite interesting because our daughter was the first one actually to jump into a shower and have a shower there. And we were it was actually before we went to bed, and she runs into our bedroom and said, I don't know, but she was really irritated. Her skin was irritated, and she said, my body and my skin start just cool down. I feel really nice and pleasant on my skin. So, and the irritation that it was there on her, it was quite red. So it just disappeared. I was just like, oh, could be this is just a solution. And so now we can see the long-term effects since she actually started, you know, drinking and regularly, you know, taking shower with Anespa. We just see even during the seasons where her eczema was on the peak, like autumns and springs, you know, suddenly we see it, she doesn't have same reaction as it was. And it was just, you know, for us as the parents, was just like, oh, relief. You know, finally we get something that we can actually use, and it works. So yeah, that was I mean, most amazing things to see your children actually, you know, happy with themselves, especially, you know what, when they go to school, they don't need to think about how they look and so on. So and our son as well, he very sporty guy. He does handball and does football, and he takes water, and he used to take water constantly, you know, from reverse osmosis before, like. But now he actually realized that this water is really such a different water, because he was surprised that all his friends now want to drink his water. And so he was taking 2 liters of water every day, and it always comes back empty because his mates want to drink only his water. So, and it's just something with that is so interesting that, you know, children's heart, they don't lie, you know, and they draw into the purity and so on. So it's amazing for us to see basically that, you know, we personally, even when we travel, we feel the absence of this Kangen water, even though sometimes we just take as much as we can, but we feel it that you know, it's something that you don't even desire to drink any other water.
Mm. Oh.
So,
Thank you so much, Vitaly. We need to start to round it up. Any last words from you?
yeah, I just have my wife here. She said, don't forget to tell that, you know, she always suffered with dry skin as well. But now,
In the winter time.
especially in the winter time, but now, you know what, everything is balanced. And we're just so thankful. And I appreciate to be part of the community, to be involved in this bigger vision, because it's not just about ourselves, it's not changing our lives, but also the lives those around us. And you know, doing the impact on our family and the families around.
Oh, thank you. That's such a beautiful testimonial, Vitaly, and so powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes. So, Martina, where are you? Love to hear from you. Let's see here. There you
Hello.
are.
Hi.
So Martina is an amazing young woman in working with Maria. Would love to just hear a short background for you and about your testimonial. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Well, thank you for welcoming into this space. I'm Martina. Well, I started this business because I was actually looking for a business opportunity. So I had been looking in different different options, and just realized that I needed to own my time. I needed to own my business because I was done swapping my time for money. And I just understood that it needs to be a business. And I think my soul guided me here because I've always been very, like, I'd say healthy. I've been training, yeah, my whole life. And I think the water somehow pulled me to this business. But I was actually looking for a business opportunity. And when I found out about the water, that's when it all made sense. But for me, it was first and foremost about the business opportunity. When I saw the leverage that we have here, like how we earn, that was when it made the shift for me, because I really believe in freedom, and I really believe that we need to be sovereign and that we can make the most amount of choices based on how we feel and how we want to live, and not by how society wants us to live. So I had already been looking for ways that I could live more freely, but they weren't really sustainable. So when I saw this business opportunity, it was a no-brainer for me. I just understood, like, okay, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to make it work. So that's how I got into this business, and that was earlier this year. It was actually in January. And what I've gained from this business, obviously, the water, I mean, the health benefits. Like, I didn't have any problems, so to say, with my body. But what I noticed when starting drinking this water was the brain fog. The immediate brain fog just disappeared. So for me, that was really powerful to feel that. And I only sensed the shift when I was without the water for a time. And then I could drink the water again. And it was just during the same day, I noticed the difference. So, and also the other parts, because that's like the physical part. But what I've gained is the community. I was looking for a community of like-minded people, and that's totally what I found here. But maybe most of all, what it has done, that it has accelerated my leadership of myself and my life, and how I am now in control of my life, of building my future, of building my life how I want it to be. Like, I have the blueprint now to take me to where I want to go. And that in itself is giving me so much power to know each and every day, okay, I know what to do. Now I just need to do it. So my greater vision for all of this is to be the permission slip for others to know that there are different ways of earning, that you can live not by how society wants you to live in these systems, but you can actually, there's other ways that you can do it. And for me, that was so powerful, because it's also not only a way, but a way where I can be so in alignment with my values and what I believe in, and to be able to present that to other people, because it has to do with health also, which for me is already such a natural part in my life. So that's, it has all the parts that I want to be living by and with. So yeah, that's my greater vision, to be able to help others to know that they can live on their terms, and to really create a life of their dreams by this model that really, really allows that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Thank you, Martina. Amazing
Thank you.
share. Thank you so much. So welcoming Frida. Frida.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so happy and proud to be a part of this. Oh my God, all you amazing people. So I'm going to be honest with you. When I first started this, I didn't buy the water. I love the water. I love rest of the products. It's amazing. And the more I learn about it, the more I love it. But actually, I bought the business, just like Martina. I bought the compensation plan, and I bought a space in this beautiful heart-led community of like-minded people. So I wanted to start there. A little bit about my story. About 2 years ago, I was lost, depressed, and filled with anxiety. I had just landed what I thought was my dream job. We had renovated our big, beautiful house, and I had just given birth to my second child. And life should have been perfect, but it wasn't. But to make a long story short, I did a deep dive into myself and what actually was my core values, and not society's. And I realized that I was living my life totally wrong. I was not aligned with my soul desires, with my values, and what was important for me. This never-ending rat race, always hustling, running, stressing, and so little time for what is most important for me, and that's my kids. So I realized that I needed to do something about my life, and first and foremost, my work situation. I was just like Martina, done selling my precious time for money just to pay for life that I didn't want to have. It's so ironic. So I manifested this business. And one day I found this amazing woman on Facebook. And she was sharing about her life, talking about how her boyfriend moved from Sweden, left their 9 to 5, and now living the dream life in France. She was talking about Mother Earth and Father Sky. She was talking about self-love and personal development, all these things that resonated with me and talking to my soul. And I was thinking, yes, I'm doing whatever she is doing because I want her life. And now this amazing woman is my mentor, Maria, and also one of my closest friends. So I've been in this business for a little over a year now, and everything has shifted for me, from my mindset to my leadership to my self-love, everything. We bought an RV, we took time off, and we left, travel around Europe. Me, my husband, our 2 kids. We went to Maria and Victor in France and all these other lovely places. But most important, we got time together as a family, no stress, just fun, and my business working for me in the background while I was a present mother to my children. And after this, I got even more of a burning desire. This is how I want to live my life, not being stuck because just because I need an income. I mean, it's 2024. It have never been more easy to make an income on social media. You need your phone, you need a Wi-Fi, and you can travel the world and still make an income. So why shouldn't I? And now my why is even bigger, and this is my vision, because in 5 months from now, we're going to welcome another baby into our family. And yeah, I haven't told that to so many people. But, and after that, I'm never, ever going back to the rat race, never again. Because I'm going to spend my days doing what I love. And that is being with my kids, traveling the world, and helping other mothers to do the same. Because I know that it's possible with this golden key that we have here. I've seen so many people in our global community do this every single day. And now I'm going for it, and I'm going to help others do the same. So, because in the end, nothing changes if nothing changes. I think that's it, Monica.
Oh, beautiful. Frida, I'm so, so happy for you, and congratulations on a new baby on the way. It's going to
Thank
have a
you.
beautiful life with all of this. So thank you so, so much. Yes, would love to bring on Camilla. Where are you? Let's see where you are.
Here I am. Hello.
Hi, Camilla. I'll just put you there. Oh, there you are. Great.
Hi.
Welcome. Would
Thank,
love to hear from you.
thank you. Well, I'm very excited and honored to be here because this has been a great transformation for me to develop my self-confidence and also see the vision of my life, how it's going to be from now on and further on. So my journey started, that's really far away in the time. When I was a little kid in my school bank, in the school classroom, I was looking out the window and the little girl inside of me there wanted to be free, ride on my horse, have the wind in my hair and feel total free. So the life changes. I grew up. I'm very good worker. I've been working for 35 years as a teacher with horse riding, and I'm a ceramic. And I work with handicrafts, and I work at a school, in a Waldorf school, and I have a great job. And I don't regret all my journey because it's been taking me to where I stand today. And I have just decided when I can see that we were working too much and we take all the energy out, So we nearly burned out ourselves just by being a good worker, actually, and love my job maybe too much. But what happened was that my husband, he stopped working before me. He was he's driving a bus as a bus driver, and it was quite demanding for the whole family. So he had to just to stop and relax and rest. And I kept on working. I worked full time until my body said, stop, you can't do this anymore. And I also had to take a rest and a break. And what came to me was that what happened actually was that I broke my wrist, my ankle, and I had to lay down, and all the thoughts, ideas come back to me. And I was thinking about that little child in the classroom looking for freedom. And she came back to me as a strong feeling that I had to change something in my life. So I was just scrolling around on my iPhone, and I found such a beautiful picture of a woman with her child on her lap, with her arms around, and it was a beach. And I just felt something just talked to me that I had to reach out to this woman and ask, how are you living? And how can you live that free life? And I had a connection somehow from the beginning. And I will just tell you that this woman today, she's my mentor and also a friend. And that was my way into this business. It was because I also was looking for a way of living our lives even more free, to have an income and a job, which I think work more freely for me and my family. And we have also always been interested in the water and living in a healthy way, and have our own crops on the farm and try to make our own vegetables and just have a kind of a free life. We chose to move to our tiny houses for 2 years ago, and we're building up a nice tiny house living in the countryside. And still there's struggling with how to have our income in a way that it would be a different to just go away from our home all the times. We felt like we are living in our cars, but we're driving here and there. We're never home actually to live there in our tiny houses and enjoy our lives there. We were just more or less away from home all the time. So what I'm doing now is that I'm working 50%, and I put 50% for this great business. And this community is like, for me, it was like finding my tribe and people who are interested in the same things that I am, more or less, about freedom, about health, about wealth. And the discussions are deep and gives me a lot. I've been developing a lot as a human being, and I feel so thrilled every day. Just imagine I have 2 days where I wake up. I can wake up when I want. I can own those 2 days and just feel, oh my God, what am I going to do today? And I can fulfill my days how I wish. I can take a walk in the forest. I can be with my family, with the horses, and I can do this business with full heart and enjoy and happiness. And my vision we have already taken a big step by moving out to our tiny houses. And we have also a yurt there, which is nice, and people like to see, and they can visit and sleep over. It's all the coming event, which I feel is just knocking on the door. And we can also spread this out, this wonderful opportunity, to other people. So they can come to our place, they can drink the water, they can also just take a look at how we are living, because it's maybe a dream for some to have a life which is more free and doesn't cost so much around to live in smaller houses. So I just want to spread the joy and the happiness I feel about founding this to other people. So I'll just say thank you for me, and
Oh, Thank you so much, Camilla. Thank you. That was amazing. And I really, really love just to hear these stories. I know we are having a long presentation today, but I think it's important. Like you can always jump off or go take a coffee or watch the replay but these are the real people. Like these are the real people that um, we're getting to know each other like a family, like we're communicating all the time. I just had a mentorship for all the new people where we go through like the fundamentals of what we're doing, how we're doing it, like teaching everyone how to take the first steps. And Camila, you were full on there in that group, and I love to see that dedication and then see people evolving, like you've heard, like heal their health, heal their lives, being able to be with their kids. And this is a real positive impact, like this is a real effect. So we are not done yet. We will now move into the sovereign enterprise, like going into conscious entrepreneurship and we're going to describe this engine, like people talk about a vehicle. Well, the meaning of the vehicle is that if you have like a little bike going on the motorway, you won't come as fast forward, right? If you have a Lamborghini or you have this amazing um if you have this amazing vehicle that can actually move fast, then you can actually go to your goals, go to your dreams faster, and you can do it in a conscious way that does good on the way. So now I'm going to jump into that part of the presentation where you find the details. And like some people said here, can you see that? Yeah, the sovereign enterprise?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So why some people, love the water and they do it just for their health. They want to drink this water. Some people, like you've heard here, they're also looking for another path where you don't need to be in the 9 to 5 or in the rat race or like another path. Like there's actually a huge community in Europe, led by someone called Ryan Roberts, with thousands of young people that are choosing this path, and then they're getting to, travel the world or do what they want and not get stuck in this kind of system. So what we want to create is sovereign empowered communities that are living in freedom. How does that sound, guys? And what does that mean? So, to empower these sovereign communities, we do need the basics. We do need the clean food, water, and promote and preserve life, right? This is the basics for physical health and create a toxin-free life to be able to be healthy, to be in your full potential. Like for me, when I was having the effects of my Lyme disease and I was just surviving in a 9 to 5, I couldn't be in my full potential at all. Like I couldn't give back to the world. And then we need the finances to thrive and to build the new. If you're just struggling, like trading your time for money and just letting the money come in and then out and not having the long-term plan, you don't have the finances to build the life that is important for you, whatever that might be, or to put into the projects that if you filled your own cup to make then the world a better place. So what we have here is this beautiful conscious community, which was one of the things that kind of caught my heart, honestly, like seeing all these heart-centered, beautiful people that have started to live these sovereign lives and then like believing that, wow, if they can do it, then I can. And now I have. So what you will find is that you have this beautiful communities where you learn directly from mentors that have walked before you, both in the international community and in the local community. And we also have educations, automated systems, like a lot in place that will just guide you step by step in learning. This is learning like a new trade in a way, like you need to put your learning cap on and like not have your cup full and be like to educate yourself. And it might be, you know, a shift in how you, both in your mindset and how the actions you take to create this business, but it's all there for you. And you need to look at what models that are supporting you today. So a lot of people are employed, like I was as a teacher, where you don't have the time freedom. You need to show up at work. There's no automation. There's no one that can jump in for you. Like, of course, they're temporarily, but not in that way. And there's no exponential income. There's no long-term legacy income, meaning that what you're growing is passed on to your children. That was definitely not there on that low salary as a teacher. And for me and my husband, we turned to being entrepreneurs, as many people are doing, where we found, at least in the business that we are running, of course, there are many different kinds, and some have more or less of these things, but we almost found that we were working more hours. We didn't have the automation there either. In our transport company, we had employees to take care of. We had, you know, all the cars to take care of. There were insurance issues. There were lots of things that, like, my husband could work 12 hours per day, and I'm not joking. Like, that's what we found the entrepreneurship to be. And just as we'd like grown some funds, something happened and we need to fix a car, or we needed to, you know, whatever, there was some unexpected payments that had to be made. So we found ourselves still trading time for money in that kind of entrepreneurship. But what we mean with a sovereign enterprise, and what we saw also as entrepreneurs, is where you take away, like constantly having to invest and having employees, having inventories, have like you scale away most of the things that take a lot of time from you. So you regain your time freedom, and a lot of that is done through automation. So in a way, what you're looking at right now, the masterclass, is a place for, you know, all the new people that are doing this with us to send you and send other people so that they don't have to know everything. You don't have to be an expert. There are those that have walked before you that will take care of all the new people and take care that everyone gets educated about what this is. And there's also the possibility, of course, you need to work on this as a business like anything else, but there's the possibility of exponential long-term income where it's also passed on in generations. There is a legacy to this that doesn't exist anywhere I've seen, where what you're building up now is actually passed on to your children, to their children, and so on. So that is like the amazing Japanese company we're working with have that long-term view on things. So what is then Enagic? We talked a little bit about the company Enagic. They are a Japanese 50-year-old company, and since they have this track record of stability, of having no debt, of being the leaders in their industry for many, many years, they have grown this amazing network of local offices around the world, of support systems, of resources, of you know, lots of beautiful networks that supports all of us that work or choose to work as what we call independent distributors. So once we align with this company, what I love and what I'm going to show is that there are very little requirements. We are independent, meaning that we are taking care of our own businesses, but we have this huge network of support and stability and certifications, etc., that is backing it up. So what then is special with this model that doesn't exist anywhere else? Like, if you find a better model, let me know. We've had people, you know, entrepreneurs, people in like network marketing, in you know, lots of different areas when they see this model, they just drop everything because they see, just like us being 15 years as entrepreneurs, we're just like, is this true? Like, can we do all the good things and we can skip, the things of manufacturing, of like employees, of constant investment, like so many things you're skipping. And then you actually get a high income. This is a high ticket, like Enagic pays back generously to those that give their time and energy to Enagic. So it's a very high income for the time that you put in. For like, if you've heard during these last days, if you want that freedom, if you want that sovereignty, you want to make sure that your life force energy, your time is valued, that actually has the most effect possible for your health, for your wealth, for the world, for the positive impact. And the actual business plan, which we're going to go into the details, is certified, is unique, and it's also patented. So you might think that, oh, it's like this or it's like this model. Like, it's not. This is a very unique, patented, ethical model. And it has very low requirements. You don't need like auto shipment or get a lot of products every month. You don't need to sell a lot of products every month. You can never lose what you built up if you're not really, really, going against the values of Enagic, of course. But it's like you take away all those requirements that often is connected to like, oh, network marketing, traditional MLM. It's not like that. This is called direct sales and affiliate marketing. So it's not the traditional MLM system. It's much more ethical and like you can be at peace. Like, there's no stress here. There's no like no one pushing you from behind to do this. It's really up to you as a sovereign being. And like people said, you can actually work with just a phone and computer, which creates this location freedom. Like us being able to move to the country, we wouldn't have been able to do that in the same way if we were stuck in an ordinary job. And you, as long as you have like a Wi-Fi or an internet, you can travel the world, or like be in Mexico or in France or in different places of the world and actually do this business from anywhere you want, which creates a location freedom, which is important when we want to maybe create eco-villages or move to different places or be involved in projects like Chanel going to Africa and to United States to build health clinics or save the lions. She can actually do this while she is doing her projects. And in this system, in this business plan, you can also first maybe create an extra stream of income, which can be very important for families and people out there. And then in the long term, you can build this long-term plan and come to those legacy income levels, also securing your family for generations forward. And when you have worked, the longer you have worked with Enagic, the more they will pay you back. The more they will also give you like these huge like lifetime and leadership bonuses that we're going to come into, like rewarding you all, even with a pension in a way where you don't have to work ever again after you have proven yourself and gone the steps and taken this path. And the good thing is also you can just pay it forward, support your community, and then you can start to build this sovereign free life together. And you can even, release people from job situations or from situations that they're not happy with, and then create this truly win-win situation for everyone involved. So let's get to the details. This is Enagic's patented 8-point model. This is the basis for this conscious business model. So what it starts with, there's one requirement, and that's it from Enagic's side. It is that you own your own water technology. And that's it. Like, there is nothing more. There's no hooks, no hidden things there. There are strategies in place. I'm not going to go into detail around that, but there are strategies in place where you can fast track, and there are strategies in place where you can start from zero even. Like there's like starting from zero investment to like maybe 100, let me see, 12,000 euros or 120,000 kronor. Like it's all depending on your dedication level on how much you can invest from the start. But the important part is you start with a machine, any kind of machine. There's we're happy to jump on a call with you and really put that strategy out for you. We do that for all the new people, just like one first strategy call to set you up the best way. But the requirement is to own your Enagic technology. Then you're tapped into the business plan. And Enagic knows for each machine that is being sold, there are 8 points of commission, like this pie on the right side here, that is being distributed to us as independent distributors. And the longer you have been in the business, the more pieces of this pie you get. So it starts out in different lanes, is called 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5, 6A. And for each lane, you earn one more piece of commission. You following so far? Yeah. So you start with a machine, and for your first 2 sales, you get 285 euros in commission. That is the first level. On your third sale, you will earn 2 pieces of commission. You are actually like advancing to double commissions in the 2A lane. And the 2A lane is between 3 and 10 sales. And here, it's very important to know that it's not just you introducing other people, it's actually the people that you have introduced and they also introduce other people. Those are also counting in. So you're building like a small team around you, and all those team sales will be counted in the sales that makes it possible for you to advance to the next level. But it is not the traditional MLM, because it's only these 8 points of commission that are being what do you say, distributed out. I won't go into the deep details of how this works, where we do have other videos where we're really describing it more in detail that you can watch. But the important thing is that the 8-point model makes sure that it's those in your closest circles, maybe 2 or 3 levels down, where you get commissions from. Once it might be 4 or 5 levels down, you will not get commissions any longer. And it's kind of natural that it's those closest to you, like the ones that you introduce and their teams and so on, that you actually get paid for. And then actually it works in that way that the more people are independent, the less commission you get. So you are rewarded for always bringing in new people and educating them. And then once they fly off, you get less. So back to the basics. In 2A, between 3 and 10 sales, you get 570 euros for each sale. And this is both the sale that you make or someone in your team that is in this 2A lane. So there is the leverage effect. And like I said, I won't go into the details, but just to let you know that if I place someone, if I have a leader in the 2A lane and they go out to also introduce new people, I will get 570 euros for all of their sales as well. So there's the leverage, there's the win-win, there's the supporting people to then succeed and you being rewarded by that as well. So in the 3A lane, between 11 and 20 sales in your team, you get 855 euros for each direct and indirect sale. That's what we call you make the sale or someone in your team does. In the 4A lane, it's between 21 and 50 sales. You get 1,140 euros per sale. And just to let you know also, a lot of people have packages like what we call trifectas or quads. They buy 3 or 4 units, which means that you can actually move quite fast through these lanes. And in 5A, between 51 and 100 sales, you get 1,425 euros for each direct and indirect sale. So there you see like the high ticket working, like you get hugely rewarded back for spending your time supporting others, for spreading the word. And in 6A, it's 100 plus sales. And there you get 1,710 euros, 6 pieces of this pie. And like I said, with the right strategies, you can even receive all the 8 points of commission through this business model, which means 2,280 euros just for one sale of a K8. So there is like the basics of this model. There is much more to it, but I don't want to like dive too deep into it. After you reach a 6A, and for instance, for us, for me, it meant maybe finding 15 people that were direct, meaning that I had introduced them to the water. When we reached our first 6A position, we have 3 6A positions today. And so you don't have to do all the work. You could actually find maybe 10 beautiful leaders that are see the vision. They want to create this with you and they run with it. And you're actually really boosting the system and then having this engine to create what you're here to do. After 6A, you start to receive the long-term income, the legacy income bonuses. And there are even more than I'm telling here. We have then it starts like the monthly bonuses, the quarterly bonuses, lots of different also incentives for actually helping your growing team to succeed. So in those long-term legacy income models, the more you support your growing team, the more Enagic gives back to you. And also the more other people that you support to come to that level of 6A and become independent and sovereign, the more you will get back. So then you start to receive one-time bonuses, like when you reach 6A, you get 2,550. When you then have 2 more 6A accounts that you own yourself or people in your team, you become 6A2, which means 5,100 euro bonus. And then as your team grows and there are more and more levels of 6As in your team, you get to 6A2-2, where you get the 10,200 euro bonus. That's where we are very close to right now. And the next level, which we are probably going to come to next year or the year after that, it's coming very, very close. That's where you kind of get your own pension plan, where I could actually stop working and not do anything. I doubt that I will, though, because I love what I do. I love to see people thrive. But there you get both the one-time bonus of 20,400 euros, but you also get 3,000 euros, 3,500 euros monthly for life, whatever happens. So you have that monthly money coming in that is very substantial. And this is just a baseline. Like, remember, then there's the 8-point like bonuses. There's the quarterly, monthly, like lots of more bonuses. So coming to reaching that level means that me and my family are secure for life. Before you reach that, you need to, still be active. You need to support your team. You need to grow your business actively to come there. But at that level, we could retire, like honestly. And what am I now? 46. So it's quite a good pension age in a way. And then it just goes on. So the next level, you get 7,000 monthly for life. You get the 40,800 euro bonus. The next after that is 10,500 euros monthly, 81,600 one time. It even goes further. There are levels here up to 682-8, where it just expands. So, for instance, we have, like in our global team, we have 30 years olds like Ryan that are 682-3, like they've not walked the ordinary path. They walked a different path, and then they're set up for life, and they're supporting so many others to do the same. And of course, this is not a quick fix like this. You need to sit in the education, by the education desk. You might need to, set up your strategy that is unique for you. And we're happy to jump on the call and describe this to you. So reach out to the person that invited you, and we're happy to have that just for free, like with no strings attached, just letting you know what would be the best strategy for you. And then it's, of course, up to you to walk the steps. It's like you can get the fishing rod, you need to go fishing and do the work. But the question is, like, I educated myself as a teacher for 4 years, and now in the similar amount of time, actually in 1 year in this business, I retired. Like I quit my job after 2 years. My husband could quit his job. Now we are at levels where we're starting to expand, like to our broader visions. So the question is how much time and resources you are dedicated to spend, if it would be like 3 years or 5 years, even 10 years, to then be financially independent and sovereign for the rest of your life. So a lot of people in the ordinary system is like you work for maybe 40 years and then you get a very low pension. To me, that is not an option. And I think for a lot of people, they understand we need to take that power back and to create our own way and our own long-term plan. And a lot of people stay loyal to a system that doesn't serve them. And once you've stepped out of it, you're just like baffled, like, oh my God, how could I spend my time like that? Of course, we all like have different values and different things. It's fine, if you want to do that, great. But for me and a lot of other people, we don't want to serve a system that doesn't serve us. We want to create our own values, our own networks, our own communities. And just like a lot of people were saying, that you actually step into this heart-led, beautiful, very aware community when you do this. You don't want to do this alone. So both the education, team building, and this team of support that you get is very important to be able to succeed with this. So this is a picture from a festival we had last year in Stockholm. We had people coming from all over the world, hundreds of people meeting up. Dolores was there. I know Vitaly was there. A lot of others here on the call. We had this Wild and Free festival. And it's this beautiful mix of people where we both work with like team building, mindset, building your vision, to then also like the very practical stuff, like working with systems and automation so we can free our time even more. But a lot of the time, a lot of the mentors that we have, like we had a mentor called Balazs. He's from Canada. He's one of the top leaders in Enagic in the world, was there with us, mentoring us directly. And what they are saying, these top income earners within Enagic that we have the privilege to work directly with, or Christy Ord or Clint Morgan, who are leading the biggest team in Australia, they were also there. They all say that the success needs this 80% inner work and then the 20% outer work, like what having these income producing activities every day. It can be we all work in different ways. You can work through social media, you can work through automated platforms, you can just spread the word in whatever way you want. Like basics is simple. You own a machine, you spread the word, you make the commissions. But then we have all these amazing systems in place and different inspiration for you to find your way to do it together with the team and to do it to create your unique vision. So how we actually do this is through beautiful education systems. So we have two main platforms in our team, the Freedom Era and Project Legacy. So it's two different ways of working. One is more like building a presence online, using your freedom of speech, being in your authentic expression. The other platform is more of an automated platform using ads on social media and like reaching out through the internet. There you can reach like thousands and thousands of people, and you can even do it without even showing your face or being present online, where the system works for you, and then people actually show up on a call with you and you get to mentor them to set up a good plan for them. But in these platforms and also in our community like pages, like we have Facebook team pages, we have messenger groups, you get to learn and educate yourself in these step-by-step models and trainings to actually build your success. So you only need a phone or a laptop to, for instance, like we had this beautiful 5-week training for the new people here in our team, where we go through things as, having good conversations and connect with people. How can you support them to um, build their strategies, or what is your best way of reaching out with this message to the world? Like how have you thought through the way that you want to do this? And what we do, once you own your machine, we sit down and we do this personal strategy with you, and we make a plan on what fits you the most, because one thing might work for another and another thing is much more natural to the second person. So we need to find, the method that feels right for you. But I really want to highlight, like, this is a Project Legacy that I work in, and Dolores and a lot of, I know, Vitaly, other people in the team. Project Legacy is a full automation platform, meaning that we have technology that does the heavy lifting. It all includes like pages to send people to, the scheduling, the education processes where people actually can come educated to a call with you. And we have the contacts there, email lists, like everything is in one place. And you also have this full support 24/7 in this platform from technology guys. You don't need to know technology to work with it. And that creates that automation. Just like I had this young girl, she knew nothing of automation and programs. She just had, uh, I think, let me see, 9 units come through in 1 month because she used the system. So that's one way to work. And then we have the Freedom Era platform where they actually have a whole team of people that work with the calls. You don't even have to sit down and talk to people. So they do that for you. And you just tap into like that platform is beautiful in the form of like mindset and finding your vision and sharing that with the world, being in your expression. You can also work in a similar way as Project Legacy with social media advertisement. So it's just, these beautiful automated systems that will take you through step-by-step processes of education so that you can spend less time earning money and actually spend more time doing what you love to do. And like I said, there is more options to do this. Some people want to have physical events and already have a network to spread it with. But the basic thing is to share your values, your vision, and then find not just huge amounts of people. It's not about that. It's about finding the right people that you want to work with and that you want to build that vision that you have together with, just like you've seen a lot of the beautiful team members that we have here in this call today. So we are coming to the end. And as I said, it is a long presentation. I warned you, and you can, go back. We'll try to put some timestamps on. You can go back and have a look again. But if this feels right for you, the next steps for you is to reach out to the person that invited you here. I know there might be some people that are like, I just found you on the internet. I don't know. Just reach out to me. I will make sure that you you find the right person in here, and we get on a call together. This is important to take your time to do that, because then we get to know you. We get to show exactly the different strategies in place, and we get to also introduce you to these platforms and find the best strategy for you, so that you then, once you just have your own Enagic machine or machines, whatever way you want to get started, you get invited into all these community pages. Where we have like weekly and monthly calls, we have chat groups, we have educations, launches, where you just tap into like this wave that is already there, and you follow those steps that those that have walked before you have taken. So in the end, where we really want every one of you to create your own sovereign free life, and also step into and starting the path to realize your big dreams, because this is very real, and we have everything in place, and now it's just a matter of finding enough people, out there that can actually be this permission slip, like someone said, or come to the tipping point where we can say like, well, bye bye. We don't need the corruption, the bad systems. We don't need the stress, the toxins, all of that. We are building something new here together. And I believe, as many people that step into that, the more people that step into that, the more beautiful this world becomes, and the more we can actually live the way that we are supposed to here. So with that said, since you are on here live with us, or you might be watching the replay, we want to give massively back to you. Like, this is the Freedom Cascade, guys. Like, we want to cascade bonuses, incentives, like just pour out to you for taking your time, like for thanking you for being here. And especially those of you, like we said, we're looking for action takers. We're looking for people that see the vision and that are happy to take the steps. And we want to do it now. We want to like just have this Freedom Cascade like spread massively. So what we're giving back to you is for those like really fast action takers. Maybe you've been looking at this, or maybe you just feel so aligned, like, yes, I'm all in. If you join within 3 days, meaning you get on the call, you decide your strategy, like you have everything in place within these 3 days. So that would be, let's see, now it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So by Wednesday, we can say the full day Wednesday, we are actually going to bring you a masterclass with the top people in our industry. This is with Christy X Ord. She is a founder of the Freedom Era, together with Clint X Morgan, her husband. They are top income earners within our platform. I have the honor to be like directly mentored by Christy, and learned so much from her. Like they started out completely burnt out with no money, living in a car with a baby on the way, and they were like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do?" And they completely turned that around in just 90 days. And then they've just catapulted with so much like heart and meaning, and supporting, especially a lot of women out there, to step into the full power and potential. So she's going to be on there. Clint is going to be on there, her husband. And also Balazs W. Cardos, who is really an amazing mentor. He's the top in-enagic in the world. So you're going to get this masterclass with these top leaders in our industry. And he, what to say about Balazs? Like he actually started out as a door-to-door salesman, like selling like internet or telephone, what do you say, abonnement, like these products. And he drank this water for his health first. He healed his gut problems with this water. And then from there, he just became so engaged. Like everyone should have this water. All the families out there should have prosperity. He started this global prosperity movement, which we are proud to be a part of, where he's so passionate about giving everyone that freedom of finance and to all the children and the families out there. And so in this masterclass, you will receive like their direct knowledge, like their best keys to their success, which is super, super valuable. We're also going to share one of the most important books within our community called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's like we said, like we talked about yesterday, the money mindset, like setting your mind to, well, money is the flow. Money is an energy. Money is a life force that can do good, that can create happiness, right? There's so much negative programming around money, but you will also receive that book. For those that are like, okay, I need a little bit more time. I need maybe 1 week's time. We will make sure that, and of course, if you join within 3 days, you will also get the second point here, which is very, very valuable. You will have one of our top mentors and leaders sit down with you until you have your strategy in place. And this means, what platform do you have? What content, even like guiding you through what kind of like write the text with you, like do the graphics, like I mean really hands-on, until you have something just to roll with completely, until you are completely set up. That is what we offer the ones that are real, like action takers that see this straight away. And then we have a bonus for all of you that join before the end of the year. If you need some more time, that's just fine. Like we respect your process. It's no worries at all. Or if you feel like, no, this is not for me, of course, with all respect, like we bless you. But for those that also want in but need a bit more time, by the end of the year, if you join in before that, we have a high-level masterclass coming in January, and this is going to be like the top leaders within automation, within mindset, all of those different areas we've talked about here coming to that masterclass that will be for team only. So for this mentorship that you're in now, this is open for everyone. We do that, once in a while. But this mentorship that is in January is going to be for team only, those that have joined the last of December 2024. So guys, with that, you know the full picture and a little bit more. So happy that so many of you are staying on to the end even, which is, we thank you so, so much for being here with us, for taking the time, and happy to answer any questions you have. You're probably fully like bombarded by information by now, but if you have any questions, I will stay on here for you and happy to answer any questions that you have. So thank you so, so much otherwise, and really reach out to us directly. We're here for you. And we love to actually sit down with you and see how it's possible for you to take like the first steps towards this long vision, like this big vision that you have. So thank you so much.